Hi,
Amen.
Mayor.
The 28th of January, Rabbi Levitt Gemara.
Good morning, Phil.
How you doing? Okay.
Baruch Hashem, good. Okay, we're ready to go. Let's see where we're going to be going from. Oh, I see. I got a marker over here. Wow. Baruch Hashem. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so we're up to Mi Amar Rab Hachi. Mi Amar Rab Hachi. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 line from the top of Kuf Yud Ches Amud Beis. 118b. Did Rab say this? Oh, I gave away the translation of the first phrase. Oh yes, yeah, okay, yeah. Remember, we're talking about this Mishnah with the one that ganvid the tleh from the flock, and then it was returned. Did he tell the owner? He didn't tell the owner. Is he going to be responsible if it dies after he returned it to the flock, or it's stolen by a second goslin? And so, what did Rab say about all this? Rab said that ladas tzarik das. If the owner knew that the animal was stolen, so then the first goslin needs to, of course, return it. But not only that, but he has to inform the owner that the stolen animal, is being returned. And only like that he'll get himself off the hook from being responsible for anything that happens to it. And if it was stolen and the owner did not know about it, did not know that it was stolen, so then Rav says that minyan poter, the count that the owner will make of the flock and see that they're all there, that's already enough to exempt the goslin. You didn't have to tell him personally that the animal is being returned. Okay. Right. So that's the way Rav says. And now the Gemara is asking, did Rav say that? Rav Hachi. Okay, so we're going to go from there, the sixth line from the top of the page. And once again, we call upon our dependable reader, Roy.
You're muted, Roy.
That's how to
okay. We're at 118B1 on the left side. The paragraph, which is the Gemara now addresses. Mi Amar Rav Hachi.
All right, so did Rav say this, or the Gemara addresses Rav's ruling that if the owner was aware of the thief must notify the owner of the item's return, and if the owner never became aware, okay. Uma Rav actually. And did Rav really say to Rav, but Rav has said Aziru, La'adir, Shipamadabar, Yotse. What do you say? So Rav has said that if the thief returned the stolen lamb to the owner's flock in the desert, he has fulfilled his obligation. But in that case, says Art Scroll, there was neither notification nor counting. So how does all that fit in? The Gemara answers. Rav Hanan Abba, Rav Hanan Abba said, Ma'odeh Rav Birku Asa. Rav agrees that in the case of a spotted lamb, in other words, an animal that has distinguishing marks, neither notification nor counting is required. But what if he's not distinguished? You can't tell the difference. Okay, I can understand that if a lamb that is distinctly unique is in the comes back to the flock, you can tell. You don't need to be told. You can see it yourself. You don't even have to count. You can see it. What if it's not unique?
Okay, let's take a look at Rashi. The first Rashi I think we've got is Hechasiru Le'eder.
He returns it to the flock. Let me see where it is. Hazira later. It's the third line. Okay, Hazira to Leflater. He returns it to the flock. Sheyesh lo Labal Labayit the midbar, because to him the owner is the owner. If the owner is in the bidma in the desert, Yatsa, he does fulfill his obligation. Va'af al gav, even though the low ladat, even though there was no knowledge, the low minyan, there was no counting. V'rav lo, it's not enough for him. Bilav chad, that it's not one of those in the Mishnah.
Rav lo sagi le balav chad mehani. Now, okay, let's try to work this through again over here, step by step. Let's okay. So we say that Rav requires, according to our Mishnah, Rav requires you got to tell the owner. If the owner knew that it was stolen, you got to tell him when you give it back. And here the Gemara brings some other statement from Rav somewhere else, where Rav said that if he returned the animal to the flock in the midbar, so he's fulfilled his obligation. It doesn't sound like over there he informed the owner of anything. It sounds like it's enough that he just returns it to the flock. He's already fulfilled his obligation. So, one second. First of all, where was that case talking about? And was the owner originally aware of the fact that the animal was stolen?
There's a whole issue whether he counted, if he's going to be aware. If he only did a count at the end and it was returned, how would he know it was stolen?
Well, if he doesn't, if he didn't know that it was stolen, then Rab agrees that a minion will poter.
Right.
Rab agrees to that. Well, what I'd like to do is try to figure out where it is that the Gemara is talking about that Rab said this, and see what the case is all about. The question is, Rashi tells us, Phil's the Rashi that Phil read, Hexziru le'eder, he returned it to the Eder, to the flock. Sheyesh lo lebal abayis b'midbar. There was a flock that owned by the Balabais in the Midbar, and so if he returns it over there, Yotze, he's fulfilled his obligation, he's off the hook. V'afugav the leka lo ladas v'lo minyan. So Rashi says that Rashi fills us in that this case that the Gemara is bringing did not have either one of these two reasons for pottering the thief. Avogab deleka lo ladas v'lo minyan.
But no, it gives some maybe.
Even though the owner did not know, even though the owner did know that it was stolen from him, in other words, and even though the owner did not do a minyan. For Rav, lo sagile balav had mihani, and for Rav, it won't be sufficient unless one of these two prerequisites has been fulfilled. In other words, if the owner did not know that it was stolen altogether, so then Rav agrees he could just give it back. But even then, he needs to make a minyan. He needs to count it, the owner. And Rashi says there was no counting over here. So this case that the way Rashi is explaining it doesn't fit into Rab's reasoning. He didn't inform him. Oh, that's what Rashi means. Avogab deleka lo ladas. That even though that this case does not feature a case where the person who stole it informed the owner that he's giving it back, it doesn't say that. And it also doesn't say that the owner made a minyan. Those are the only two ways that the guy could be off the hook over here, says Rashi. And we don't have either one of them. And Rab requires that one of them be performed in order for him to be off the hook. So that's what the Gemara's question is. Okay, so how is it that he's able to return how is it that he was able to return that animal in the midbar and not tell the owner that he returned it? And also the owner didn't make a minyan to see that he's got all of his animals over there either. And nevertheless, he's the Rab says he's fulfilled his obligation. How could that be?
Only in the case of an identifiable animal. Mark on it that the owner can see.
Okay, so that's the answer that Rav Hanan bar Abba gives over here. That Rav is moda in the case of Birkuosa. So let's read this next Rashi.
Rav. Wait a second. Oh, but that's that word or kakaot, kind of like Shatella is nika, that the lamb is recognizable. Who? Kishinigna, that it was stolen. The nika who, and it was recognizable who Leroa, that it was in the flock, but midbar in the midbar. Kishinitos tosef al sa'aro, because I'm trying to catch that word. Shnita, something is on its neck. Is that like rings on its neck? Something on its neck?
Nika. No, this word.
Nito safe. Something is on the neck. Something is added on the neck. Nefil alone mina, even if you didn't count it. So you can recognize that it was returned. It was especially an animal that you could see there's something on its neck that identifies it. Now you know it was returned. So you don't have to count it. You know.
Some sort of like a ribbon or some sort of identifiable ticket of some kind.
I mean, the article uses the word spotted, but I don't know what that word, the word of the Rashi is shenito safe.
Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, no. See, there's a correction in the Rashi. The first word in the Rashi needs to be fixed up, and if you got your Sefer Bereshis and you got the story of Yaakov Avinu with the spotted and the splotched flocks that he separated and all that business over there, you'll see the word. The word is tlua. Where's you have a oh, I don't have my Chumash Bereshis here. Okay.
Why isn't that first word says a shatala mean the lamb? Kaleh. That's not the verb word.
Yeah, I have a correction on that word.
Oh, so because right, the word here says a tala, which is a lamb. You know, like veal, like when you can buy a hamburger made out of that. It's one of the choices.
No, because in other words, the word in the Gemara, Moderav Biriku Asa. So that word Riku Asa, Rashi is translating that word with the first word that Rashi is saying over there, but our text of the Rashi is wrong, and so instead of saying you have to add some letters to that first word. I think it's going to be important to take a look at this pasuk in Bereshis, and you'll see what I'm saying. I'm going to go get my sacred Bereshis. I wrote in all my notes. Was on like what do they call it? PowerPoint. Let's see here.
Voracious what?
Let's see.
Viku also means what to start off with?
Spotted.
Spotted.
Okay. Yeah, they're saying Talu with an aleph at the end is spotted. It's Bereshis 30:32. 30:32.
Okay. 30:32. Okay. Right. Yeah, some type of a the word Kol said Nakod V'Talu.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is that this
what I have for the Rashi on that is for Talu, it says it's a Lashon Tala'im, which means patches. Harbubra Rachad is it's white spots.
yeah. Yeah, there's right. The code looks the code is smaller spots, and Talu looks like it's larger spots.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it says Rehovot. It says wide. They're using the word wide, and a nakud is like your little dots on your nakudot on your words. You know, under the bottom to tell you how to pronounce it. That's a nakud. That's the spots.
Right. So that's the point, that this our text in the Rashi, the first word should read, instead of reading Shehat Talua, it should read Shehat Talua. It's in other words, the fact that the animal has these large spots on it, that's, Rashi says, is Nikar Hu Kishanignav. So it's a very unusual looking animal. It doesn't look like the other animals in the flock, apparently. And therefore it's going to be noticeable right away that it's been stolen. Maybe even if the owner doesn't know, even if the owner didn't see the animal being stolen at the time, it's very likely he didn't see it being stolen at the time, but he knows he's got an animal that looks like this. It's an unusually marked animal. And so anytime that he thereafter is going to look at his flock, he's going to say, "Oh, where's my tle? Where's my tle, which is talua? I don't see it over there." So he knows right away, the minute he looks at his flock, that he notices he doesn't see this unusually spotted animal in the flock. He knows that it's been stolen. The Nikahu Leroa. It's very apparent and recognizable to the shepherd, the midbar, in the desert. Kushani Tosef Alsono, when they make a addition onto his flock. Bafilu lo mana. And so therefore Rashi says, in this case, even if he does not, right, it's recognizable that it's stolen, says Rashi, because you notice right away that it's been stolen, and it's also when I think that's what Rashi means over here when he says it's Nicker Hula Roa B'midbar Kushan Nitosef Alsono, when it's been added on to the flock. In other words, that it's been returned by the person that stole it. It'll be both of those things are going to be recognizable very, very quickly by your ordinary shepherd. And therefore, Rashi says, he doesn't afilu lo imana, even without making an official count of the flock, you know that the animal has been returned. You know that it was stolen, and you know that it's been returned. And so so this is an unusual case where Rav is moda that he doesn't need the Goslin. He doesn't need to return. He doesn't need to needs to return the animal. He doesn't need to tell the guy over there that this animal's being returned, because for sure he's going to see that it's been returned. Okay. It's really interesting because really we should say that, right? What does Rav hold that the din is when the animal that's stolen, it's known to the owner that the animal has been stolen? What does Rav hold that the din is in that case? Rav says in that case that constitutes a gezela gemura, and that requires the goslin to not only return it, but to inform the owner that it's being returned. So over here, if you got this animal that's unusually marked animal, so the owner knows for a fact, or the shepherd who tells the owner that the animal has been stolen, and so therefore it should be regarded as a case where they know that the animal has been stolen. If so, according to Rav, he needs to the goslin to return it and inform them. And here we're saying no, he doesn't need to inform him, and he doesn't even need to count the flock, because he sees very clearly that the animal's been returned. Very nice, he sees the animal's been returned. But according to Rav, the goslin needed to inform him because he knew that the animal was stolen. So at the end of the day, I don't really see how it is that the question is being resolved. Somebody asked this question. I think somebody asked this question. It looks like there's a lot of comments. Yeah, that's what they're all the commentators are trying to figure out, how this is answering the question. They got to say some type of a shtickle Torah over here to answer why the goslin doesn't need to personally inform that the animal is being returned now, because that was what Rav said before. That if the owner knows that it's been stolen, so then it's called gezela gemura. He needs to return the animal and also to inform. And here he didn't do that, and also there wasn't the minyan either. And even minyan won't even pater in the case where the owner knows the animal's been stolen. So it's an altogether unusual case that doesn't conform to the ordinary rules that Rav puts down in regard to returning stolen animals. Yeah, that's the question that they're asking. Okay. Okay. Very good. So in other words, the way that it's got to work, you see if you agree with this or you understand it. You got to be saying at the end of the day that this animal is such an unusually marked animal that that the whole rule that Rav said doesn't apply over here. In other words, it's sort of like it's for sure the owner. It's as good as the what happened over here is tantamount to the Goslin returning the animal and telling the owner that this here animal is now being returned to him. That's what we have to say in order for us to say that Rav says that he's yotze, his obligation of making a hashava over here. And so we're saying that that's what it amounts to, based upon the fact that the animal is so noticeably different than all other animals, and it's immediately recognizable. Oh yes, he's certainly going to see and know that the animal has been returned. And that's really what Rav requires. That's why Rav requires the guy to tell him personally, just so that he'll know. But here, it's clear that he's going to know. Okay. Okay, so now we go on to the next case. Lou, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Okay. Lema Katanoi, 118b. It's the last word in the line. It's about, what is it, about 8 lines down? The first word in the line is Rav Hanan Bar Abba.
Okay. I found it in the Gemara. Now let me find it in the English. Rav.
Right-hand column, the Gemara suggests.
Okay, the right-hand column, which what paragraph?
The second one, the Gemara suggests after the break.
The Gemara suggests that the four-way Amoraic dispute cited earlier has a Tanaic precedent.
Oh, very good.
Lema Katane, let us say, Hagonain Tala Ha'eder. If one steals a sheep from a flock, Visela mean Hakim, or a seller from a purse, Lemakom she Ganav Yachazir. He should return it to the place from which he stole. The makom sheganav yachazir, return it to the place that he stole. Divrei Rabbi Yishmael. These are the words of Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Akiva Omer. Rabbi Akiva says, Tarich das be'alim. He requires the knowledge of the owner. Sav ruha de kule alma he lehu de Rebbe Yitzchak. Rabbi Yitzchak, I'm sorry, everyone agrees that that this is everybody agrees with the opinion of Rabbi Yitzchak.
Right.
Damar Rabbi Yitzchak, that Rabbi Yitzchak said, Adam asu the mesh dechiso b'chol sha'a. A person is in the habit of touching his purse all the time.
Right.
In other words, he's always checking to make sure I have my money. Bisela ledas uvif lugta derav Yishmael. Now, is it not with a seller that the owner was aware?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And they are disputing. There is a dispute between Rav and Shmuel.
Ubeplukta de Rav Shmuel. And they are disputing the dispute in our Gemara of Rav and Shmuel. Who's they? Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva. In the machlokes that they had between them. What Rabbi Shmuel said, just return it to the place where it was stolen without having to tell anybody about it. And Rabbi Akiva says, oh no, you need das bailim. The owner needs to be informed that the animal is being returned, or the seller is being returned. So with this, the Gemara has made its case for saying that this machlokes between Rav and Shmuel, the first two Amoraim that spoke about our Mishnah in regard to the case of what's the din when the owner knows that the animal has been stolen. So Rab said, oh, the das sorg das. If the owner knows, so then the Goslin cannot make a full return in the absence of telling him that he's returning the stolen animal. But Shmuel said, no, he doesn't need to do so. As long as the guy counts the flock and he sees that the flock is full, that's good enough to get the Goslin off the hook. Even in a case where the owner knows that the Goslin stole the animal. So that machlokes between Rav and Shmuel, the Gemara is claiming that that Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva, the Tanoim, before both Rav and Shmuel, they had the same machlokes.
So Rav and Shmuel
That's-
are Amoraim?
Yes, Rav and Shmuel are Amoraim.
Ah, okay.
Right. That was the first when the Gemara said Lema Ketanoi. When the Gemara first said Lema Ketanoi, let's say that this is a Machlokes Tanoim. That's what the Gemara means when it says Lema Ketanoi. That this Machlokes that we are dealing with over here, between do you need to tell the owner, you don't need to tell the owner. Machlokes Rab and Shmuel. Rab says you do. Shmuel says you don't. The Gemara wants to present this Mishnah, Brisa, whatever it is, between Rabbi Kiva and Rabbi Shmuel, that they're arguing the same machlokes.
Right. Very good.
And of course, whenever we always know that whenever the Gemara says Lemek Tanoi, what's the Gemara always answer? Lo, no, you're not right.
That's right. That's what it always answers.
I don't think there's I've never seen an exception to that rule. Gemara's always got some way to weasel out of the Gemara's claim that they're arguing a machlokes tanoim.
Actually, I don't see it. I don't see it saying low here. Oh,
Really?
yeah, I see it. I see.
It's it's funny. It's in parentheses.
In parentheses. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Interesting. Yeah. So the Gillian says that not all the texts of Gemara include that word low.
Right, but it's
Okay.
implied. It's implied that it's not accepting it.
We have a low in ours.
We do?
Yeah, it's on the second wide line. There's a
Yeah,
low right
we
in-
have the word is there, but we also have I believe you also have Phil parentheses around the word low.
Right, we have parentheses around the word low.
Yeah. So
And-
whenever
And we
There's a
also,
Dalet.
we also
whenever
have
you
the
got
guild.
parentheses, you know that means that the Vilna Shas is saying we're going to print the word, but we're just telling you that not everybody is. There's different opinions about this word.
Mhm.
There seems to be a little Dalet next to it. Is that word or the one before it?
That dollar goes on the Mesilas Shas, and it's an abbreviation I don't understand anyway.
Oh, which letter?
There's a little dalet next to the word low.
Just
You have a
before
little
that,
daled next to the word low.
just before, after Shmuel, in the Mesilas Shas, it says Samech Aleph Lamed Gimel.
Yeah, that's the I have that also. That's the Ozvahadar's Hagos V'Tziyunim. In other words, they're telling you Samach Aleph stands for Sforim Acherim. Sforim Acherim refers to other texts of the Gemara. In other words, not the standard Vilna Shas edition that we have. Sforim Acherim. There's other Gemaras. Lamed Gimel Lo Garsinan. They're not Goris. This word in their text.
Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. All the best, everybody. A great day.
Have a good day, Phil and Roy.
You too. Thank you very much. Be well, all of you.